We're here at the Iron Age section of Archeon in the Netherlands, and we found something super familiar.
We found a bloom. Here we've got a couple of different types of iron ore. They've got some bog iron here, and they've got a big old piece of slag right here. But I mean, this is really familiar. This is the stuff we've been working on. So the bloom right here has bits of, this is obviously man-made because it's stuffed full of bits of charcoal. You've got bits of charcoal in here, and then bits that look like they've been flowing. You see this stuff? It looks like it was once liquid. That's the slag. And then over here you go to this part that's been rusting, and it has kind of a granular texture. And here we've got some actual iron. This isn't a super good piece of bloom. Clearly this is the part that they leave out for people to come and see. But yeah, there's iron here, more slag here, and bits of charcoal here. And then this one is kind of phaleite. It's extremely iron-rich, very dense, very heavy slag, which you can see was once flowing from this surface here.
Bloomery furnace without any kind of fan or bellows and still reduce down the ore?
Yes, but then you would have to build an oven that is like 2.5 meters tall.
Okay.
Or on a hill with a shoot down the hill to create a draft.
Okay, updraft.
Because that's what they call a natural draft furnace, and then you have to build an oven 2.5 meters tall.
Okay.
And just fill it up till maximum about 1.5 meters.
And what kind of diameter for that 2.5 meter tall furnace?
Sebastian, natuurlijke trekoven. Wat van diameter?
Pretty large at the bottom. I don't know for certain because I never built one. I've only seen pictures of it. Something like this, I think. Okay.
At the bottom, and then
pretty large.
Tapering it a bit.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to create a bit of a draft, of course.
And then how many holes in the bottom?
You just have to experiment.
Just see it. Okay. All right. And always be watching that temperature. And that's how.
Always watch.
Okay.
The temperature.
No, this is the last one we made was probably that big around, maybe, and I would say 1.5 meters tall, maybe. And so
yeah, meter and a half. That's what we are going for.
A little wider like this and taller, and then maybe you don't need a fan at all. As long as you can get enough draft in coming from the sides. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
But we haven't tried it yet, so at least that's the theory that I've heard.
Okay.
It is still just a matter of experimenting.
Okay. I'm curious that this Bloomery furnace has a clay bottom.
Yes.
We've never done a clay bottom. We just have it down to the ground and then we dig out underneath to drain slag. Is there a reason for that?
In this case, that one will actually have a piece of log on the bottom.
A piece of what?
Just a log.
Okay. Okay.
It's a tree stump that we used to have a small anvil in.
Yeah.
Just a small stake anvil. But we are going to build an oven around it. We also sometimes build ovens with a slag pit beneath it. So you've got a pit like this full of sticks.
Yeah.
All your slag will run in between the sticks. That's also something we try. In this case, we are building 3 furnaces to
test, to compare.
Now that we will have to open up to get the slag out, because that's always fun for the public to see.
Yeah, for sure. How do you insert?
That one has a clay bottom.
Yeah.
Partly because there used to be a slag pit beneath it.
Okay.
That we filled with a lot of crap.
Okay. How do you control the oxygen flow into the furnace?
We have
do you use leather bellows? Do you use an electric fan?
We use an electric fan with a voltage regulator.
And how strong does the fan blow? One of the things that we've been thinking might have gone wrong with our smelts is the possibility of too much oxygen so that it gets too hot so that it turns into cast iron instead of wrought iron.
One of the things is we have a tuyere that has a viewing glass in it, so we can see the color of the oven.
Ah.
What color are you going for?
Yellowish. Orange close to yellow.
Yes. Orange to yellow, not yellow to white.
No. That's too hot. Problem is, and that's what I learned a short while ago, you can run an oven too hot. Probably you also had very thick slag then.
No, we had pretty runny slag.
Pretty runny?
Yeah.
It's also possible to get very thick slag.
when you have too hot. You can also get really thick slag, and that means that all your iron will reduce too quickly and will not give your slag enough time to get runny.
Okay.
So in that case, you'd want to layer in more charcoal for every layer of ore.
No, you
and
just
then
want
that gives
to
it more
reduce
time
the
to reduce
temperature a little bit.
Oh, okay, okay. So in Iron Age times, right? So you have the tuyere with a piece of glass. How would they monitor the temperature? Is it just
they would have like a funnel-sized tuyere,
okay?
A shaped tuyere, and then just have your bellows just like this far in front of it.
Okay.
And then you can see next to your bellows. Then you can also get a Venturi effect.
Okay.
So because you're blowing into the oven, you can get extra oxygen dragged in with your. Plus you can get a rod or a piece of hazel or something like that, fresh piece of wood.
Yeah.
And just poke in if it gets blocked.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a huge problem.
It's okay. So you would just have a hole large enough near the bottom that you can just look in and see the temperature.
Yeah, and in our case we have our pipes. They come in a T section or in a Y section, depending on what we decide to use. And then we just can see through a glass. And I believe the pipes are made out of brass.
Okay.
Because that's better than iron.
Okay.
And the glass is also a temperature. Also, with a lot of these bog ores that we have here in the Netherlands, there's a lot of phosphorus inside,
which makes it harder and also more white.
Which will make it brittle, nearly whatever you do. Okay. There are some ways to get the phosphorus out, but I don't know how exactly. I haven't tried yet. But then you have to watch videos by Mark Green, I believe. He has some hearth refining and theories about that. Okay. But that's one of the ways to get the phosphorus out, but it will always remain brittle. You always will have a big crystalline structure. However, what you can use it for is for Damascus type steel, but you should use it in really moderation, because otherwise it will remain brittle. This is all slag, and this is actually quite iron-rich slag, and this is with very low iron.
Okay. That's all of our slag looks more like this and less like that.
Yes, then you will have a lot of iron in your slag. Okay. Which is something you cannot do anything with anymore. Then you have to go to the modern furnaces like they have here with the really tall stacks where they just get everything melted. And that's why those place in Poland where they use it 32 times. Yeah. In the Industrial Revolution, they just took the slag pits. Here's something we can use. Here's something, because they get everything liquid. Wow. They get the slag liquid, and then they will just reduce the amount of carbon in it.
So they were mining from old slag pits?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
That's so funny. That's recycling right there.
That's the pinnacle. That's the pinnacle of recycling.
I hadn't even thought of that. But yeah, the shiny part there is the iron, right?
The rusty part here is the iron,
the rusty part,
and all the shiny part is slag. It's the glass. Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
And in our site, because we come from a site in the south of the Netherlands, we once had a really nice and running slag, which was green, because we usually add some soda.
Okay.
To get the slag more runny. Okay. The downside can be that it will also melt your oven quicker.
Not cool.
Also, if you want to build a furnace really quickly, use old bricks, not like new bricks. That's a waste, but old bricks. Okay. Or even better, if you can find them, unfired bricks.
Oh, cool.
Unfired bricks. That would even be better.
Ah, nice.
Then you can just stack them like this in a circle. Patch everything, just bond them together with clay, make them wet first, just dunk them in water for a short amount of time and patch them up with clay. That's a really quick if we have an iron smelting event, that's usually how we build bricks, because we have to build it in one day, fire it the next day.
Smart.
Yeah.
And also test your bricks first, because we had some bricks in Slovenia, and they just, at some point, just half a brick was eaten away in one firing.
Wow.
And one of the English teams, they had just, by the time they opened their furnace, there was like, if you looked through the door of the furnace, you could just see the glass on the other side. It was just burned completely through.
Wow.
So just test your bricks a bit first to fire it a bit.
Wow, well that is super cool. We're gonna take those tips. I'm really interested by the idea of doing it without a fan or without a bellows at all, just having a draft either uphill or having enough holes around the bottom.
Yeah, have enough holes, and if you build a natural draft one, build it like 2.5 meters tall, and fill it maximum 1.5 meters, because you need the chimney on top to create the draft.
Oh.
And what I understood from Jan, because Jan is the one who usually, when we go to these events, he is our furnace master. He's done it hundreds of times, or at least more than us. And he's also the one who taught us in our own site how to do that. And in exchange for teaching us, we come here to help him here. And I believe he once told that if you do that, you charge your furnace completely with everything you want first, and then just let it burn.
Okay.
Because adding it from 2.5 meters tall, 2.5 meters up, it's risky, and you have the chance that you will overfill it also.
Got it.
Okay. Well,
you've given us a lot to think about. Thank you.
Yeah, and a lot to go try. I'll give you back your slag. I don't want it any more than you do.